We interviewed our passionate tour guide Ryan at the Ford Piquette Avenue Plant, and he described, for better or for worse, why Henry Ford is the person who's made the most significant impact on who he is today.
Because the crank arm, the stuff that he did, the moving assembly line and the Model T in the car, and then you hit your teenage years. And what do teenagers care about? The morbid stuff, the negative stuff. So you find out that, Henry Ford bought something known as the Dearborn Independent, a newspaper in Dearborn, and he published all these articles about the Jewish people. He was very public with how anti-Semitic he was. And, Henry in his youth, he was this farm boy, and his father expected him to, take over one day and to do all this farm work, and he hated it. He's this young boy plowing a field, and he dreams of this world where machinery would come along to change everything, to do all the work for him, so he could just go do the things he wanted to do. And as he got older, he fell in love with the age of steam and all these machines, and he went out and he changed industry and revitalized the entire nation and changed the infrastructure of us as a society. And today, what do people think about? You focus on the negative aspects. A lot of people. People forget that every single person who's ever lived has had negative things about them. Me, myself, one of the reasons why Henry Ford meant so much to me growing up is when I was young, I made a lot of poor choices. Even recently, you do things, you hurt people, you make mistakes, and you remember that the world can be very forgiving. And life and time, it's something that you can overcome. Henry Ford did some terrible things, but he made this world a better place. And I think that while it doesn't justify his actions in some cases, it reminds us all of something that every person needs to remember, and that's that no matter what you do, at the end of the day, you can always be better. In fact, one of my actual favorite Henry Ford quote, he said, "Anything being done can be done better." And I think that's why he means so much to me, that reminder that even though in the past I've hated myself and who I've been, I can always be better tomorrow. And I can always do things that help people out eventually. And that's why I'm so dedicated to places like this in the history here, because these men that helped build the world we live in, for all their faults and for all their weaknesses, some were greedy and some were selfish and some were this and some were that, they were all just people. And at the end of the day, all people need to remember that all of us can change the world. And all of us can make it a better place. And we need to. If we don't try, it'll never happen. And so I think that's why I respect Henry Ford so much and why I care so much about all this stuff. So, simple.